Welcome, everyone. Happy summer solstice. It's midsummer and it's midsummer night, tomorrow night. So I wanted to get this video out to you because I know I've been a little bit away and I'm just recovering and I'm getting back, and I've been spending a lot of time in my woods and enjoying nature, and I'm starting to get my energy back and my peace, reclaiming my peace. So the summer solstice is so important, and I wanted to really go over some of the traditions and some of aspects of what we should be focusing on during the summer solstice. It's the longest day of the year when the northern hemisphere is at the closest point to the sun. So this is a day when the light of the sun is the strongest. So you want to focus on bringing that light into yourself and meditating on that light body around yourself and really trying to fill yourself up with the sun rays. So this is very important that you can get outside and spend time in nature at this time of year to help just build your aura so that you stay strong and you keep your armor on. So I wanted to go into the sidereal placement of the summer solstice. It's always on Orion's hammer. You can see it here. And when it's on Orion's hammer, it's exactly between Gemini and Taurus. So you can see it right here. As the sun is moving in this direction, we're right between Taurus and Gemini. And that's really known as the silver gate, okay? Right between the horns of Taurus. So the silver gate is when the summer solstice is happening, and then the sun is in the golden gate in Sagittarius on the winter solstice. So this is exactly what it looks like. And right at the moment, at the Eastern Standard Time, it's hitting its highest point, or its closest point to the northern hemisphere, at 10:58. It differs on which time zone you're on. So I just wanted to take this because this is where I am. And you can see how Sirius star is directly below the sun. Okay, this is also partly why this is a very important time of the year, because the Sirius star is like considered to be it's the dog star. It's known as heliacal rising, the dog days of summer. It's all to do with this star. But this is like the star of light, right? It's very important in ancient traditions, but it's directly underneath the sun. So that's very relevant. We have Jupiter right on the head of Cetus, which is known as the hand of God, this little paddle here on the head of the sea monster. It's known as the hand of God. So Jupiter is the god of this realm, right? He brings luck and good fortune wherever he is on your chart, and he's ruling the higher mind in the 9th house, right? So, and he also rules the 12th house in Pisces, which has to do with your soul's journey, the dark night of your soul, kind of all the hidden stuff for your spiritual development. It's the house of ends, kind of the completion, right? Through Pisces down through your feet. So, Jupiter is really important. And the fact that he's here right in Aries, right, would make him in Aries. This is, the crown chakra, okay? And we have Uranus also in Aries, which, it'll stay there for quite a while because it's a very slow moving planet. But that's the heaven planet. Okay? So we also, both in Aries, this is really, really important solstice. We have Mercury, the mind, in the silver gate. So this is your third eye, right? Taurus rules your third eye. So it's being asked that you are thinking about meditating through your third eye on this summer solstice. And these are all the things you need to think about, okay? As the summer solstice is happening, bring power from these planets into yourself, right? Understand what's happening in the sky, and then bring that story into your own reality and work with this. This is the whole reason why I started doing this channel, was to help people connect to the sky, because in the tropical astrology, they're not telling you what's happening in the sky, right? They're telling you what was fixed many thousands of years ago. And so you're not even connecting to the sky. It's just what people are telling you the sky is. So when you have a big sky and you can go out with an app, you can see that the sky is exactly how stellarium is. It's like the sky doesn't lie, right? So the interesting part, we have the moon. This is Venus here. We have the moon in conjunction with Venus. He actually kisses Venus when you zoom out a little bit. So the moon is kissing Venus, which has a lot to do with love, right? And it's in Cancer, which is all to do with your family, your home. Cancer rules all your emotions. It also rules your memory, okay? And so this would bring you more into having lots of love for your ancestral heritage, okay? Because it has to do with home. The moon brings memory, and then Venus, you know, is all about love. So you would have this sense of wanting to go back and research your history of your family line. This would be very strong on this summer solstice. And then Mars is right in the Lion's Gate between Cancer and Leo. Cancer's the only constellation ruled by the moon, and the moon's there. So it's very, very strong, all this moon energy. And it's just, you know, coming out of a new moon. So it's planting its seed. And then Leo is ruled by the sun, and this is known as the Lion's Gate. And Mars is just coming out of Cancer, which if you haven't had a lot of energy, because Mars is being Cancer, that's why. Now he's coming into Leo, and it's going to get better for people's energy. So here we can see the moon kissing Venus, and Mars is there. And I wanted to show you where Osiris is being hanging out. Okay, so Osiris, who is the god of the underworld, you know, the rebirthing of the king, he's been on the ascension star. This is the ascension star right here on the kind of like the left shoulder of Virgo. It's called Zabijaba, and Osiris has been there, hanging out there. So, you know, again, very much about our ascension. These are all really strong placements for the memory of our ancestral line, and then ascension aspects coming through. So here I wanted to show you Mars is not in Cancer, and there's a close-up view of how the sun is exactly on the hammer of Orion on the summer solstice. Yep, it's kissing Venus. And we also have Minerva in conjunction with Jupiter. Now, that's really important, okay? And I'm going to tell you something. I know this is going to be unbelievable. Most people wouldn't believe it, okay? But I had spoken to you guys about my friend passing away. And the next day, when I was talking to another friend, I was sitting in my truck on my cell phone, and a white barn owl came flying into my windshield of my truck and then flew up over it. And it stared me right in the eye. And that is the white owl tied to the Beltane festival called Blodeuwedd. She has a mythology in Welsh mythology, and it has to do with shapeshifting into an owl after a sacrifice on Beltane. So I was really, really blown away by all this. And we have Minerva, whose her symbol is the owl, in Aries, the crown chakra, conjunct with Jupiter, right? So this is also to do with wisdom. It has to do with, some people would say the owl means death, but it's really associated with Athena, which has to do with, you know, the strength, your armor, your wisdom. Yes, and it can be something to do with death for sure. It's also, you have to think of the owl as it can see in the dark, and it can see 360. Okay, so it's very, very able to see all, and it travels in the dark and not in the day because it's not scared of the dark. Okay? It's transformed itself, and it's not. It's fearless, really. The animal of the the woods in the evening, right? So we have that going on this summer solstice as well. So we have the times here when they are in different times. And I just wanted to show you that it is at 10:58 Eastern Standard Time. And what else did I want to say about this? It's just saying it marks the longest day of the year. Yes, we know that. And it goes into some of the holiday traditions of the summer solstice. It's tied to Juno. So Juno Luna. So with the moon, right? The June moon. So the June moon is kissing Venus, you know, so this is very important to the Roman festival that has to do with June. Oh, and this is all to do with why weddings happen a lot in June, right? And it's a time of year that was sacred to Vesta. The matrons of Rome entered her temple on the midsummer and made offerings of salted meal for 8 days in hopes that she would confer her blessings upon their homes. Because Vesta is the goddess for the hearth, of the home. So it brings good fortune. So the midsummer, it's also known as Litha in pagan tradition, is very important, to the blessings of the home. Okay, and here I wanted to show you where Vesta is. She's very close to the Pleiades and to Uranus. Okay, so this is very, very important because Taurus rules all the senses of the body. Okay, so she's very connected to Earth and love in this aspect of being in Taurus. Okay, because Taurus is ruled by Venus, love, and Earth. Okay, so nature, and it coming through your third eye. And visualizing what you intend to see. Okay, so this is a very important summer solstice. So the traditions, right, in the Celtic was some of these writings combined with surviving folklore indicated that the midsummer was celebrated on hilltop bonfires and that it was a time to honor the space between Earth and the heavens. So because we have Uranus in Taurus, or, coming out of Aries close to Taurus and close to Vesta, this is very, very important because that's a heaven planet. So it's also tied to St. John's Eve, which is because the pagans celebrated, the midsummer because the sun was so strong and long during the day. In Christianity, they took this midsummer and incorporated the John the Baptist, St. John Baptiste Day on June 24th. And that's when the sun starts to move again. It stays still for a few days, just like it does in the winter solstice. Okay, so they put Jesus's birthday on December 25th, right after the winter solstice, and then St. John Baptiste was put in there. So when the sun starts to move again, they just took it, instead of when the sun stops, they put it when the sun starts to move again. The Christianity version of this holiday. Okay, so there's no right and wrong, right, of this holiday. It's really the sky. Okay, and yes, the mythologies and the traditions are following the sky. Okay? It's not that one tradition is correct and one tradition is wrong. What I'm trying to point out is that everything follows the sky. Okay, so you need to understand the sky to really understand how to use the energies of the sky to help you on your journey of life. Okay, this is really important to know and to understand what's happening in the sky if you can't see the sky yourself. Okay, so talking about here that the Celtic tradition, Ain, the Queen of Munster, okay, is tied to this festival. Okay, the Hill of Ain, and it's all to do with the fires are purifying and also offering to protect the crops. So really think about this festival as something sacred, right? And that you need to hopefully light a fire or light a candle, and do some traditions. Lots of the traditions are to do with the wheel of karma, and how the wheel was always set on fire on top of a hill and then rolled down the hill into a lake. And so there's an element between fire and water that's tied to the summer solstice. The other tradition is it's the end of the oak fairy time of the year, 6 months of the year. It's the oak fairy from the winter solstice through to the summer solstice. And then now the oak fairy's finished. He's battling with the holly fairy, and the holly fairy, or the holly king, is now taking over. So it's a tradition from the oak to the holly. Okay, so these are all traditions that you should think about, and kind of, if you can't do them in a big way and do a bonfire, do them in a small way, and try to infuse your body with the sunlight tomorrow. It's very, very important that you take on the sun. You know, do some sun gazing in the morning, you know, spend time in the evening outside. It's very, very important to embrace all these energies. There's a lot of powerful energies, and they're all pretty positive. Okay, so you know, we can really use this summer solstice to bring good fortune, not only to yourself, but to the planet. So blessings.